Okay everybody, this is for my Year 12 Methods class. Now what we've got here is I want to keep going back. Whoops, that should be to A, not to B, to A, not to B. So, solving worded linear equations. Now I thought I'd use an example from chapter 2A, question 9. It's one about some hikers who are hiking from a particular spot. They get a bus ride from a particular spot out to a location. The bus drops them off and then they walk back to their original location. So they're hiking for quite some time and riding on the bus. Now, what we know is that we want to know X kilometres, how far they walk or how far they travel. Now, what we can do is we can say, well, if this is their base camp and the bus takes them out here to a place where they're dropped off, that's X kilometres, and then after they're dropped off here they have to walk back. Now there are some things that we know. We know that the average speed, average velocity of the bus is 48 kilometres an hour. And we know their average velocity walking, their average speed walking, is 4.8 kilometres per hour. Now, we also know that they're going to have 2 hours rest, and they're going to return and get the whole journey done in 24 hours. Now, what we can do is we can sort of set it up so that we know what's going on here. Let's say that the time spent on the bus is T, time on bus. Now, if they're going to rest for 2 hours and they've got a 24-hour journey, that would mean 22 minus T is the time walking. And if they're going out and then back, the distance they've really travelled is 0. So we could say 0 is equal to 48 kilometres per hour times the amount of time they're on the bus, take away 4.8 kilometres per hour times by the amount of time they've spent walking. So if we set this equation up, we can try and solve it. So here's the equation we set up before. Now what I'll do is I'll expand this bracket here. So 48t, now 4.8 times 22 is 105.6. And minus 4.8 times minus t, well that'll be plus 4.8t. Now when I group that and that together, that'll give me 52.8t minus 105.6. Then if I take that across to the other side, 52.8t is equal to 105.6. I find out that t equals 2 because I can divide each side by 52.8. Now if t equals 2, that means the amount of time spent on the bus is 2 hours. So that would mean the x, the distance travelled, would be 48 kilometres per hour times 2 hours on the bus. So that would mean 96 kilometres. So the bus took them 96 kilometres out from their base camp through to their drop-off, and then they walked back in 22 hours, and that's how it's done. And the answer is 96. Alrighty, you 12s, well I hope that helps, and I'll see you in class.